This is old Chevelle, isn't it?
No, it's brand new.
Oh, no, this is new Chevelle. Goddamn.
Brand new. Brand new.
That's either good or bad. I don't know.
So, it's a new release. One of the, among several new releases, I guess, this week. But
that'll be coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. Dropping this bad boy on a fucking Thursday. Because,
we're busy.
Yeah. Because we got shit to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, brand new fucking Chevelle, which I know we'll talk more about later. But which is weird to me because I've never been a fucking Chevelle fan. But the more I listen to him now in retrospect, like, oh fuck, this is all right.
I like Chevelle. Like when Ruben was out here last week, we jammed some of Chevelle's very first album, Point Number 1.
Yeah, they were pretty raw.
Yeah, it was 97, I want to say.
Yeah,
they've been around for a while. I mean, they're one of those 90 bands that survived.
Yeah.
And still has a bit of a rep to them, you know?
And they're one of those, though, if you listen to a lot of Tool, then you suddenly start seeing on your autoplay coming up on YouTube, they start kind of popping up.
There's some similarities there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there's some similarities there.
Shit, I don't know, man. But anyway, I don't know. It is a Thursday, so we can't get too balls deep into what's coming out for new releases for the week.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is, by the way, episode 100.
The Centurion episode.
We thought about doing a really big thing, and it's like, you know what? It's going to fall on a Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't realize we were more focused on like how close to Halloween it fell.
Right.
But then it became how close it fell to when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, technically tonight.
Right, and a variety of other fucking crazy things. So Thursday was it. And
yeah, Thursday just works.
Well, we aren't going to do a whole shitload of crazy things on a Thursday, but it is.
I mean, I still kind of can, but I don't bring Friday energy on a Thursday. It's impossible.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, all joy that I have in my heart that's apparent on Fridays, it's faked on Thursdays.
However, I did come out here and annihilate an entire 8-pack of Tall Boys while I was here.
Just hanging out?
No, when we were doing our tabletop.
Oh, right.
It's like total 8-pack, done.
Yeah, no. So, and that's the other thing. I'm still continuing on with Sober October, which I've got to do actually through November 5th in order to actually make it a full
That's kind of funny how those kind of go together, you know.
Yeah, no, and then I'll retox and
get back in the game.
Life will be good. But, technically I could retox after next week and call it, I almost made it a month. But, got a couple of medical appointments I got to wait on and all that fun
And why
shit.
not get the 30-day achievable, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's not like I'm waiting for a coin.
Yeah, but
I'm not a member of a dubious organization of assholes that tell you how to live your life.
Just look at the calendar and be like, yeah, all right, I can do it. Back to it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I find that actually the one thing that kind of keeps my rage in check is usually a good dose of liquor.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm telling you. And it's very noticeable when it's been away for... I mean, if you go more than a week, you notice a change.
Yeah. No, I'm full. I'm a fucking fistful of rage right here. Which is actually, it's not. I'm not happy about it. You know?
This is not a celebration.
But yeah, and for those of you that caught the tail end of the podcast last week, they're like the closing fucking second. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that my rage was going to ignite fucking rage around the entire table. So.
It caught like wildfire.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then Ruben started piping out. You started piping out. I was like, oh, well, fucking apparently we're all on the same page then.
Well, it was a rage cast.
Yeah.
And it was, there was some heated moments there. The reason I got pissed is because I was like trying to, because we have our little quiet spot for the fade out. And then Ruben just started talking and I yelled at him. And then he yelled back at me.
Yeah.
You see what your sobriety has done?
And I'm bitching about empaths and all kinds of lady wizardry kind of shit. But yeah.
Man, 99, that might be one to remember.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hopefully 100 is. But we're actually the people that have been on this podcast the most, not named Brandon or Kevin. Actually, we had them kind of give us a little bit of a pre-produced thing. So we'll actually... some words, kind words from Ruben, kind words from my brother Daryl, and
we did not hold a gun to their heads with a script.
No. The Ruben one might be really good because of the fact we'd been a little deep in the cups. This was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
we're like, yeah, you want to give us something for episode 100, a little production piece, and so he's trying to say some nice things about us, and we're just fucking laying into him.
We had a few Chardonnays. This was like I almost want to say at least an hour and a half after we were already done.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, and then it was like the big light, the dim bulb came on in my mind. Like, hey,
yeah,
we got Ruben here because sometimes, you know, it's tough for Ruben to get down this way.
Sure.
So we had to get it done then.
Well, that'll be coming up right before our MMA portion of the show.
Ooh.
I can't
wait.
Kind words from my brother Daryl coming up probably right before we transition into the Mead part. So anyway, but thanks to those two guys for kind of helping us out. Would have got some other people that have been on the show, but I haven't seen Samuel in a little bit.
Yeah,
Angie, I hadn't seen her in a long time, and Bobby, frankly, I don't know.
Bobby's it's tough to get Bobby down here these days as well.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a bummer.
So, and I think that's really the only people we've had. Well, and Carrie, she's in Massachusetts. So,
yeah.
You know, so I mean, but everybody we've ever had on this show, I would like to have got them all together. But God, everybody
hates us.
They
got
their own shit going on. So
they hate us.
Wow. So nonetheless, though, it is the Mead Metal and MMA podcast where we get together weekly, talk about issues of the day, and as we get into it and talk about the first things we usually end up covering, and amongst a variety of minutia, and that is, how's your week?
You notice how I always start the new beer when that question's asked.
Of course. I figure that's that's called ponying up.
That's right, bellying up to the bar. So we had a bit of a cliffhanger last week with Ruben here.
Right.
That there was going to be a little bit of a meeting this week.
Oh, that's right, because you not in a supervisory role, but yet laid into some coworkers.
Yeah, I went there. I did, and it's today, and I still don't regret it in any way. So I go to work Sunday night, and it's another Sunday night tale. I'm not going to go into the drivel of how much shit was left for me to do, yada, 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 because that's the same story.
Sure.
Here's where the story's a little different. Pardon me. So I relieve the gal on Sunday that I have a big problem with as far as her work ethic goes that I discussed.
Sure.
And, you know, she showed up, but there wasn't a whole lot of words exchanged because she was still a little angry from the week prior.
Oh, of course. Somebody likes to get chewed out by somebody that's not supposed to actually chew them out.
I mean, especially I wouldn't want to be yelled at by someone like me. So I get the whole rundown of the day from her, because instead of putting it in that handy-dandy little pass down that we can all just read, she just wants to talk about it, which means she's going to forget some things.
Sure.
But what she did remember was that, funny thing happened. This woman came down to the hotel, came in through the lobby door, went down the hallway, and was checking doorknobs down the entire hallway.
Not a guest.
I would guess no.
Yeah.
That'd been my first assumption.
Or a real confused guest.
Yeah. Someone that needed to be addressed,
of course,
if you ask me. Then went up to our second floor, did the same thing.
Oh.
Went outside, sat down on our bench, and proceeded to beat her fucking purse on the concrete. I wouldn't have fucking approached her after that. That would have been like, calling the cops now.
Of course.
That's what we're going to do, and we're going to nip this in the bud right now.
Sure. You don't want no fucking monkey business going on at your hotel.
She thought it was funny. She thought it was hilarious. She even wrote it in the goddamn pass-down log. She actually wrote this down, this whole story, and how funny it was. Oh, God, it was a belly buster. A fucking belly buster. God damn, I can't even contain myself.
Like nothing funny about people with mental illness. I think we've mentioned the same woman before, right?
Well, that's the other funny part of the story is the woman that I'm talking about. And it took me a solid 3 hours because she never said when. And with this gal, it could be day or nighttime,
right? Because
the woman it turned out to be gets crazy 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I had to sift through 8 hours of surveillance footage. Thankfully, what I was looking for, I knew would stand out like a sore thumb, but I still had to fucking... It took me 2 hours to go through 8 hours of footage.
Right.
And, it was the same. It was the same woman I told you about that I saw losing her mind across the street from Stripes.
Yeah,
this woman's actually paid for rooms at the hotel as of 30 days ago.
Oh, wow.
She's actually been a patron.
Yeah, no, because I was stopping in, a month and a half ago to buy some beer at one of the convenience stores here in town. She started yelling at me, yelling at everybody in the parking lot.
Did you yell back?
No, I just ignored her,
I
usually do crazy people.
I wonder what happens when someone yells back.
I don't know. I'm not really that kind of. I'm not cut from that kind of cloth.
Me neither. But
I want to get sent off to Las Vegas, New Mexico.
I'm more the instigator than the
fine hospital.
So that immediately pissed me off. Like my day was already done. I was there 5 minutes because I mean everything I went through with that crazy bullshit, having cops at my hotel for 5 hours out of my 8-hour shift. I now know I'm the only one that's actually giving a fuck out there as far as the security of the fucking hotel goes. Because that is my job as well.
Sure.
So I made the decision to take a couple personal days after that.
Oh, okay. So you took him off like they didn't tell you to take him off.
No.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I'm, and also made it known, it's like, I'm never coming back on a Sunday. Never. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. You may get rid of me, and I will fight for that sweet workman's comp. Been there long enough to get it. But God damn it, I'm not coming back on Sundays anymore.
Yeah.
And I had him. So it was like, cool. All right. So I've been off since Monday morning.
God damn. It's like a vacation.
I've felt entirely I've felt truly worthless, except for Tuesday. Got a lot done on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The day
I'd have probably went to Austin, but that's just me.
well, shit. I should have got a hold of Daryl.
Austin or Denver.
Like, hey, Daryl, I'm off for a couple of days, man.
Of course, that's smack in the middle of the week when he's got a legit job.
That's all right. Does he got like a work study program at his job?
I don't know.
I would have found out. I'd have done it. So Tuesday rolls around, and I'm not going to get too into this conversation because it took all of 15 minutes after the evidence from both sides was presented. All I had to do was prove that I was mad for a reason. And if the reason had to do with the integrity and the fucking well-being of the hotel that I currently call my job, then I feel like I acted righteously. Well, the girl didn't show up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's always good for
so I was like,
case.
okay, cool. Well, I'm already one up on the scoreboard. The one that did is a terrible, terrible speaker, so I'm not saying I'm a silver-tongued dude myself, but I can get my point across.
Right.
Brought up all the many points of why I was angry and why I lashed out. I even apologized. Wasn't a real apology, but
I'm sorry. You're so stupid.
But I didn't apologize for what I said. I'm sorry you feel the way you felt with what I said.
Oh, good. That's not a real apology.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt it was more like I feel bad for you. I pity you, sorcerer. So after about 5 minutes of him just saying how, and you know someone's on the ropes when they start bringing in people that aren't even there. Well, this person does this and this person does this. And like I mentioned twice. And mostly because he thinks I'm an asshole, which is fine because I am. I get that. I just happen to exude it a little more on a certain Sunday.
Yeah.
Long story short, I totally proved my point that I was justifiable and righteous in my anger. And I don't work Sundays anymore.
Well, there you go.
So now, which is, it's good and bad because I might not have a whole lot more to bitch about because all the crazy shit happens on a Sunday.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm getting a lot of gray hairs in my beard, dude.
Yeah, and you don't need to be putting up with people that are fucking obviously not pulling their
and
weight.
it's really getting to the point where I'm hating my job.
Sure.
So, and this is a job that I know is good. Good for me. I'm good at it. Yeah. Clearly, I'm good at it. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'll tell you what, I'm the best goddamn night auditor within a 20-mile bubble of our little shitty station here. So next week begins anew. I'm going to enter it with an open mind. I've had an entire fucking... I got 4 more days off after this to get weird.
Jesus.
And now on Sundays I can watch football. Praise his name. And yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah. Well,
there was one more thing. Sorry, dude. There was one more thing I want to mention. I did it's known on the show that I am a medicinal marijuana card carrier of New Mexico. Been waiting on my new one to come in, and it came in. Praise.
God, that was like a month, wasn't it?
It was a solid month. Like to the number.
Does the motor vehicle department handle that side of things?
We chatted about it, and your assumption was correct. It went out last Friday.
Yeah, well, they do bulk mailings from the
right.
state. And,
so that's exactly what happened.
That's why my license plate took like 6 fucking weeks.
It was ready at the beginning of the week and got mailed out at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the state. That's how the state functions.
So I hauled ass down to my local dispensary to get my order filled. Get there the same time as this other girl. Pretty cute. pretty cute little gal. And I get to the door first. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to open this door. I'm gonna be chivalrous at my medicinal marijuana dispensary.
Right.
Open the door, but she's, thank you. I'm like, oh, you're very welcome, because I rarely get that around here.
Yeah.
Get
Kindness doesn't really go a long way around here.
all the bud tenders, as they're called, are currently busy, but we're the only ones in the waiting room. So I have it in my mind that due to my chivalrous ways and her being a human being, that when the next number gets called, it's going to be mine.
Right.
I was wrong. I didn't get he was here first. She just went in. And she'd never been there before. So she had probably a solid dozen stupid questions.
Oh.
So it added an extra, my chivalry added 20 minutes to my time at a time when I had already been up for 24 hours.
Okay.
And even then, I didn't go to bed for another 12 after that. I was up for like a day and a half
Christ,
that day.
You on other shit?
We should have done the podcast on Monday.
Okay.
No, I was fueled by rage. Rage and the fact
okay.
that I knew I didn't have to go to work the next day. And I am done.
Good. Well, I have like virtually nothing to bring to the table this week outside of, I've been having all these weird fucking little oddball health issues here and there once in a while. That's
right.
Fine, whatever. But I thought, well, I decided yesterday it was a cold, rainy fucking day around here for October anyway. I mean, considering it's going to be almost 80 this weekend, I'll be running.
Dude, it's fucking hot today.
I'll be running the air conditioner Saturday. But, so like this weird like arthritic condition that I've got, I decided, all right, I'm going to see somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. And it is massage therapy, but god dang, she throws a lot of like Reiki kind of shit into it.
Yeah.
So they kind of beat the living piss out of you, So I'm still sore today, but I oddly do feel more functional. So.
Oh wow, good deal. Well, that's good.
Yeah, but it's God, man, the pain is crazy. Like I start like feeling like my back will tense up, so I'll like find like a surface and I'll dead hang and just rattles off like somebody beating down a whole fucking xylophone, right?
Oh god,
usually
so painful.
But no, actually it feels fairly good for me.
Oh yeah,
but
no, like I
haven't been able to make my spine do that in about 3 months. So, but after yesterday, I'm back to working like a champ. So
good deal. So
I don't know. So the lesson is that instead of just letting yourself go, maybe it's good to have a woman just beat the living shit out of you every once in a while.
Preventative maintenance, man.
Yeah, I guess / massage therapy, but yeah. But like I said, it's good. It's definitely worked in some elements of Reiki into it as well. So.
Good.
Yeah, you can Google that REIKI, but it's not a full Reiki session. But like I said, she borrows elements, and it can be a little painful the next day. So
that's all right. Well, that's when you know it works.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, I could lay flat on my back and like my left arm will go to sleep. And if you've been
she might be able to do something for my shoulder.
If you're living on a really high fat diet and you stop feeling your left arm, it could be a number of things.
That's true. It's cause for concern.
Yeah, but anyway, I think it's just like nerves getting in the way and shit like that, and she'll beat them out of the way. So
my shoulder, my right shoulder, hasn't been the same since I slept on a fucking blow-up bed for 3 months.
Yeah.
There's not a day goes by that it doesn't give me grief.
There's some shit in your life, man. You've legitimately got to address it when you're over the age of 20. 20. I'd say once you're out of your 20s, into your 30s, there's some things you just can't do anymore.
Sure. Well, God, dude. Okay, I have a medical ailment that even made the friend of the podcast, Carrie, fucking squeamish.
Oh, right.
That I can just break out for anybody.
Right.
I've been a heavy guy, overtly heavy, till I was probably 21. Then I kind of tapered off, got a girlfriend, tapered off very much more, and then kind of leveled off. We're right now about 235.
Yeah. Which is reasonable for somebody of your height and build.
Yeah. I'm 5'11". I got a big frame. But back in the day, I was probably about 335, 340. I was a fat motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I would always fuck up my ankle. I'd always roll it, at least maybe once a year. Some of them pretty epic rolls where blood pools on the bottom of my foot.
Jesus.
And the left one is primarily the one I fucked up the most. Well, one day, I'm putting on my socks, and I'm like feeling my ankle. I'm like, God, that's really weird. There's like a weird divot about a quarter of the way into my ankle bone. And I feel my other ankle. I'm like, oh, it's not there. So I go back and I put my my hand there and I move my foot around, and there's a crevice that opens up.
Wow.
Right in the middle of my ankle bone.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that only happens when I like flex my left foot a certain way, but it's fucking there and it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
But that's what happens when you fucking can't walk right for your adolescent life.
God, you're gonna have to start wearing like one of those fucking ankle things that Shaquille O'Neal's.
I'm gonna be a goddamn cripple by the time if I make it to 60 without any assistance of like a cane or heroin or anything, I'll be shocked.
Yeah,
I'll be shocked. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared.
Yeah, mobility. That's part of it, man. All right. Well, like I said, we'll be checking in on a couple of segments here where we had a little bit of praise laid upon us from Daryl.
Yeah, who we got coming up?
Let's do Daryl on the first one here, and as we move on, and we'll get to all the segments we do weekly with Mead, Metal, and MMA.
Hey, this is D coming at you from Austin, Texas, and I just wanted to say happy 100th episode to Mead, Metal, and MMA show. Those guys, Kevin and Brandon, bringing it to you every Friday night for the 100th episode. And it's just before Halloween, too. So how much more fucking scary is that? Anyway, congratulations, guys. Happy 100 to the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
So the Mead part of the whole equation here for this particular week. And by the way, we're not trying to blow off the fact that Halloween's coming up. It's just fucking 6 days away.
And I got something to say about Halloween, but it's not really that big a deal. Well, I mean, that Halloween movie came out,
right?
I haven't seen it yet, but fucking made like nearly $100 million its opening weekend.
People get starved for fucking horror movies in the month of October.
But I think this one did something different though. From what I've heard, and from what Jamie Lee Curtis has said, like this movie did it right. This is a great Halloween movie, as if none of them happened, and this is the sequel to the one that came out 40 years ago today.
Right.
So I'm going to withhold anything as far as my own opinion because I haven't fucking seen it yet, but I'm glad to see a horror movie do well.
Right.
You know, it gives hope for that genre that's fucking been slowly dying for 15 years.
Kinda. But like I said, I mean, every time you turn around, they'll put out like another Saw movie. They'll put out fucking whatever.
Yeah, but compare Saw to The Walking Dead, man. Shit that happens on TV is just as gnarly as shit that happens in movies.
Yeah. But I mean, but there are movies that'll come out that people didn't expect to do well, and the fucking things go gangbusters because they put them out in October.
Yeah.
And people say, man, I'm up for a good fright. It's the month of October, and then everybody will bitch about how dumb it is as they're just counting their money.
Yeah, but making $100 million, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for a horror movie, that's pretty good. Yeah. All right, to the Mead side.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. We finally pulled a sample, which, that's the update for this week because we pulled a sample. God, what the hell was it? Was it Tuesday? No, I guess
it was
Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Sober Saturday.
Yeah, because we had nothing going on. So I guess maybe the one little cheat that I had happened to be a little tiny sip of just to know where this batch is going. It's going to be a really, really good batch. And again,
it's amazing. It is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be a boutique batch though. It's the whole thing it's commissioned by somebody. I'm about the point where I'm already working on label stock. I'm already getting ready to put in the order for bottles and everything else, and they're all going to go over to the White Shadow Ranch, and that's where they'll reside. And
you better know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah,
but it feels kind of weird to talk about a batch that is not going to be readily available.
Yeah,
but it's available to everyone. This option. We can do this for
sure.
you as well.
Well, that's where I was going with it. Is that really if you're looking to get in at least a minimum is a case, and that's 12 bottles. But if you're looking to get into that, let us know, man. We'll be.
And I guarantee you, the price that you will be donating to the band, it's not going to even compare to what you'd pay per bottle for what's out on the market right now.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes off being relatively it is cheaper than individuals, but on top of that, you also get all the added labor that I have to put into it of putting a label together for you because I'll pretty much entertain just about any idea you've got. So
and you got the ability to do some shit, and really I get it ready for printing and
Yep.
Get them printed out, and
that's,
do we know what shrink we're going with?
No, I don't.
Have made that choice yet?
Yeah, I'm going to probably put out a couple of recommendations. I really think on that one, because it's going to be almost like a buckskin kind of a label, kind of a lighter brownish background with a darker brownish, logo in the middle for his ranch and everything else. I really think black would probably look pretty impressive on that one.
Black, yeah, I was going to say that, or I know I don't know if we have enough of those deep copper.
Copper ones would probably be all right. I wouldn't go with the gold; they're a little bit too light.
Because we have the two different varieties.
Yeah,
one's a little more copper than the other one.
Copper or black. Now, black would probably, unless
black is sexy.
Black would because all the lettering is going to be essentially for all the text will be in black.
Can we go matte on black?
Yeah,
that would be all right.
Yeah,
like nothing glossy, just a nice matte black.
Sure,
finish on
I think that's the majority of what we've utilized in the past. I don't think we've ever used anything glossy as far as black goes. So
no, I guess the blue ones seemed a little.
Those are
shiny.
glossy. Yeah. No, I think most of the black ones are matte. That's what I've usually ordered. So.
Bueno.
But anyway,
really
we're looking to probably finish his batch off here in the space of about 3 weeks. I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe a racking in November.
Probably. Well, if we're going to do that, probably actually we need to think about that this Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, probably Saturday would be a good day for that. Rack it and then let it settle for about 2 or 3 weeks and then bottle.
Yeah, maybe try it again, see where it's at.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is that it's fine for me to have this timeline kind of in my head, but the reality is it's really up to the mead when it's when it's time for it.
We are at the mercy of the mead.
But I think it's going to be a much clearer batch because of the fact we utilize concentrate rather than putting straight apples in there. You start putting apples or any fruit in there, it starts to break down, but it floats. And then you're having to drag it out of there with utilizing gelatin or
the old horse hoof,
whatever you're trying to do to try to clarify the batch, and it's just it's kind of a pain in the ass. So by doing a concentrate, and then we were able to filter through that, and then add to the batch that way. That I think is the right method to go about that, because the apple is present, the green chili is there as well. Maybe not as much as I thought, but then again, but you can it's there. It doesn't beat you over the head.
Right.
That's good.
What about? Out of all the meads that I've tried that are in their infancy, really, it's been, how long's it been since inception to last week? A month and a half. Start of September.
I was trying to think. Did we start that batch? I think we started before we went to Austin, right?
Yeah. So
Labor Day weekend, probably.
Yeah. So about a month and a half. It's the greatest tasting mead I've tasted at this stage.
Yeah. No, it's
I got everything.
Yeah.
I tasted the apple. I tasted the green chili, the honey. Everything was balanced wonderfully.
And you get the burn off of it that you come to expect.
Yeah.
That kind of hits you right in the breast.
Well, it was those Kevin Robbins specials.
Well, not even Scoville. I'm talking the mead. If you make a proper mead, it gives you a warming effect.
Oh yeah,
down your breastbone, and it's there too. So, and usually at this stage, it's usually really really raw. This is kind of already developing some really interesting notes. So. So I think everything that we kind of touched on how we went about putting it together, from going ahead and pasteurizing the honey this time, which mead makers always say, don't do that. You lose a lot of the notes of the honey. It lost nothing.
Right.
So I think we're good with that.
Yeah.
That's the only mead update we've got for the week, because of the fact is that, frankly, we haven't started the second batch for general consumption yet. That's going to be in the works. I was actually waiting to see if we had any more boutique batches before we moved on, and frankly, right now this is the only batch we have underway. Give it about a week, 2 weeks, something like that. We'll probably be then.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. We can do 2 batches at a time with what we got right now.
If we're wanting to really, really push our production, we could do 6 at one time. We'd have to start 3.
We'd have to have a serious fucking schedule, yeah.
Actually, even all the way up to 8, I'd have to make some weird, crazy things happen.
God damn!
With another one that's not necessarily.
We'll get to work, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, but we don't want that kind of product sitting around.
Yeah, totally.
But easily we could do 3. We have 3 primary fermenters. We could start those and then have those go, and then rack those to secondary, and then we have 3 fermenters again.
Right.
Because we could do 6 at one time.
Because we got the 2 glass and the 1 plastic carboy.
We got 3 glass.
Oh shit. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, goddamn. So we got 4 technically.
Technically, we have 4, and that's why I was saying we could technically almost pull 8 because I do have a 3-gallon receptacle that the honey came in. That when we had ordered that Wind River Valley honey.
Yeah.
That is food grade plastic. It could work just fine as a fermenter. It doesn't have any scratches or anything else on the inside of it. That could be sanitized and then utilized as a fermenter. I could set it up with a grommet and pop an airlock in there, and that thing's ready to go. So feasibly, we could actually have 8 at a maximum.
Damn, be churning that shit out.
Yeah, but we don't have enough. We don't have enough of a market to do that. So it'd be ridiculous to do. So
right.
And really, really expensive. And then we wouldn't be making mead for a couple of years because we'd be like, well, we have this.
We got this. And it's just going to get better as the months roll by.
But then the problem becomes then people only want to get their hands on whatever's brand new, not realizing that's kind of the dumb thing to do. The best thing to do is hit us up for whatever's been here for a while.
Yeah, like if anyone was a fan of Holly King that knows that, we have one.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You should come get it.
Yeah, and
because I guarantee you that will not see the end of the year if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah, no, it probably won't see much past about the time I go back to Retox. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the metal portion of the show here in the podcast. Now, again, we're doing this on a Thursday, so I have new releases that are scheduled to be coming out tomorrow. I haven't had scant chance to listen to any of it.
Sure. I've had no chance, I'll be honest.
Arion is putting out a reissue tomorrow into the Electric Castle. Bloodbath is putting out one tomorrow. I'm sure they're great.
It's Bloodbath, dude.
Yeah, the Blue Stones putting out Black Holes tomorrow. The Browning, I've heard of them. I'm not terribly familiar.
The Browning, that's Ruben's band.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. The Browning?
Yeah, the Browning.
The Browning. Yeah, that's a band Ruben loves.
Really? Well, they're on
because they're electronic kind of degent metal.
Wow. Okay. Well, they're on Spine Farm, so at least they've had some recognition within.
Yeah, I thought they'd broken up. Actually, Ruben's seen them live.
No, they got a new.
If they come to Lubbock or Albuquerque, that motherfucker's going.
They got a new record by the name of Geist coming out tomorrow. The one we led in with and probably will lead out with Chevelle, 12 Bloody Spies, B-sides and rarities. I've only heard 2 tracks on it, but I like them both. But
yeah, it's Chevelle has always been constantly good.
Yeah,
they haven't blown me away. I jammed them when I was in high school. I've been a fan of theirs since point 1, and it's good to know they survived that shitty little drought of music in the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
but this does look like a. Yeah, this is a compilation.
So basically, compilation of stuff that really wasn't their more popular.
And the 2 songs that we've heard are new songs.
Oh, okay.
So there are new songs on it, but those are the only new songs.
Okay, well there you go. But if you're a fan of Chevelle, there you go.
Oh fuck yeah!
Daughters, they've got one out coming up tomorrow. You won't get what you want. Devour the Day, putting out Signals tomorrow. Fifth Angel, they're on Nuclear Blast. The Third Secret's a new one by them tomorrow. Yeah, and just. I mean, there's nothing jumping off at me. Northgard's got one coming out tomorrow. They're on the Metal Blade album label.
Yeah, nice.
Napalm label. They've got Serenia, I believe is the pronunciation of the Arcane Astral Eons.
Not a bad name.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And also Unleashed. They're on the Napalm label. They'll have a new one come out tomorrow as well. But like I said, I'm not overly impressed with what's coming out for tomorrow. The next week, Metallica is going to have a re-release on Injustice for All.
Yeah, very cool.
Which I kind of want to hear the remaster on that.
I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah.
They have the bass stems for that album. How will they use them?
Right.
Will they? I mean, you got to give Jason a little bit of love there. You gotta. You now have the opportunity to right the wrongs.
The other fun thing about coming up on November 2nd is Opeth is putting out a Live at Red Rocks album. Opeth?
Oh, those guys.
Yeah. The pop act. I think
I was jamming Blackwater Park the other day, man. I was loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to old Opeth in a long time.
Pale Communion's just a hard record to get around.
Yeah.
But and then your beloved Tenacious D has a new one out on November 2nd.
Post-apocalypto. Looking forward to it.
But anyway, that's it. Slim pickings for this week. But do check out Chevelle's stuff. That'd be my one recommendation off of this week's podcast.
I do have a few newsworthy nuggets in the metal scene. I'll just run through them really quick here. Kyle Schutt of the Sword. I didn't even know this either. Apparently, the Sword has been on hiatus for let's see how long. So just for about a month, they've completely gone dark, and that's apparently because no one's coming to shows anymore. Damn, God, that's a bit of a bump. The Sword was really great. I got in on their very first album. I saw them at a Pavilion show in Lubbock, and they just happened to be on the bill. And it was the first time I'd heard like doom metal live. It was really good. But apparently no one's going to Sword shows anymore. And that's a bit of a bummer.
A little bit. They actually are one of my favorite acts that have done basically a country record and mostly metal records.
Yeah, I mean, no one's showing. They're like, you know what? Fuck these motherfuckers.
One, like Low Country or whatever. I forget what the record was, but it's a country record, man. There's no two ways about it.
Oh yeah. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I really like the Sword. It sucks that they're not liked enough to make money going out and touring anymore.
Are they trying to just play shows in Lubbock? Because you aren't going to get a crowd there.
Shit, I think they've only played Lubbock once, and that was in 2005.
Wow.
And that was when their first album came out. Matt Heafy of Trivium fame and delight, and and on Twitch. Dude's on Twitch all the time, apparently.
Dude from Trivium?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on Twitch all the time, like just playing guitar. That's where that cover of Toto's Africa came from. During a live stream on Twitch. About to have some babies. Twins. So he's in the middle of a tour, and apparently them babies are about ready to burst. He has to bail. Now Howard Jones is filling in on singing duties of Killswitch Engage fame.
Yeah.
And Jared Dines, Johann Eckerstrom, I'm not sure who they are, but apparently they had to call in 3 people to fill in for one guy.
That's when you know you've got some job security, when you have to get that many people to kind of be able to handle what it is you do on a regular basis.
Right. And this is, I think this is really cool. Back in 2014, Wayne Static at Static X had passed away. And I wake up one morning this week, and I'm greeted with the news that here it is. Well, this album probably come out in March, I think. They had some recordings for a new Static X album, and they're going to use what he laid down and get some fill-in help from some of that genre of metal's finest to come in and fill in, and then they're going to take this shit out on tour and kind of give it a proper send-off with some help from some friends. I think that's really cool. I really liked Static X when I was in high school. I even liked them when I was in my 20s drinking all the time. This is really neat. If you're into disco metal, well, this is, and I know you hear that and it probably sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Static X is one of those. Give it a shot. You're either going to love it or hate it. It'll probably take about 30 seconds out of your day.
Right. Yeesh. The one thing that was going around this week, because the Mega Millions jackpot got up to $1 billion something. And the question was posed out there, well, over a meme, I guess, if you're putting it that way. But it came down to if you were to hit the Mega Millions jackpot, and you were the only one, which apparently there was one winner out of South Carolina, whoever the hell that was, and then like $1 million winner here and $1 million winner there. But somebody somewhere hit $1.6 billion. Of course, nobody's heard of him yet because, frankly, if you win that kind of a jackpot, you don't want people knowing that you're the one that you end up pulling down that kind of cash, and because suddenly you'll go from having like about 10 or 12 relatives to having about 500 relatives and a whole bunch of close friends. But anyway, the meme, though, that was cranked out there is, what 3 bands would you hire to play your backyard if you won the Mega Millions? Which I gave some thought to. I tried not to get too deep. I was like, that's easy, because there are 3 bands I could name off right away that I'd actually clearly want to see. It's actually not that easy, because when I started thinking about it, I wouldn't actually put Metallica on the list.
I'm still thinking of it now. And
I mean,
can't come up with an immediate answer.
I mean, there are acts that I like. I like Tool, but I wouldn't put them on the list. I did come up with a list, and you talk about some eclectic shit here, though. But the 3 bands that I would hire if I had to hit the $1.6 billion to play in my backyard would have been Paul Bearer, which
choice.
Get them on the cheap, really, but comparatively. This one, not so much. Moon Sorrow.
In comparison.
Because you'd have to pay their travel expenses from fucking Finland. So
shit. Yeah, and you'd have to give them a big heads up so they get those visas ready.
Yeah. And the third one, the most expensive, probably just right out of pocket, but that'd be Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, they're not filling arenas, so they're not, but they do have the ability to choose where they're going to go and what they're going to do.
Yeah, we're purely talking about playing in the backyard over here. So
yeah, that's what I mean. That which means like you could probably get them for probably $100,000.
Yeah, but I mean they clearly they demand a reasonably high price tag, but probably like I said, I do think out of those 3 that I would pick, Moonstar would be the most expensive, but that would purely be covering the travel expense.
Yeah, just hold them all up at Super 8, man. I'll take care of them.
Yeah,
I have one. Devin Townsend would certainly be on that list, and just him, and I'd probably just have him fucking rock acoustic shit.
Yeah.
Because he really shines in that as well. And there's a lot of his acoustic shit I love. Fuck. I don't know if I'd pick Metallica either.
See, it's not an easy question.
Yeah,
you go to thinking, there's a lot of bands I like. Yeah, but when you really think about it.
I wouldn't pick Metallica because I've seen them live 4 times.
Yeah.
There's no mystique there.
Right.
With Paul Bearer, you goddamn right. Especially if it's just a jam in a fucking field behind your place.
Right.
Oh, goddamn. I don't even know where to go with the other 2. Devin Townsend is just the easy one.
Right.
Probably the drummer of Starbenders, if I could just pick one person out of the band.
I just want to see Emily Moon. Emily Moon. Nobody else.
And she doesn't even need a bigger drum set. I just want to take her out to Thai City for some sushi.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're starting to get creepy about it.
Oh, well, because of course I'm totally going through and all this shit. My ass is going back to Austin to wait for her at Tetsuyama.
And in that band, you don't even know if she might be into dudes. I mean, we're being honest.
I'd still like to take her out for dinner.
Yeah.
We had this discussion before the podcast. I can have female relationships and not want to bang them.
Yeah.
And just merely be in their presence.
Yeah, because you're a good guy.
Well, right. God damn it, I'm a fucking gentleman.
Chivalry should pay me something back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains would certainly be there too. I mean, I hate to bite on your skis on that.
No, that's fine.
I just have to borrow them from your place. I wouldn't have to pay for the travel or nothing.
Yeah.
But just because I'd want to have a really good time after Devin Townsend making me sad and Alice in Chains making me even more depressed, I'd have Primus at the end.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, like an all-acoustic Primus set. And the drummer can only play bongos. That's it.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you might think. It's like, man, there are 3 bands I love. Yeah, but would you want to utilize money out of your own winnings to actually have them play in your backyard?
Yeah, especially bands you've already paid to see.
Yeah.
You've already done it.
See, and that's the one thing, because, I've never seen Moonsorrow, and I'm probably not unless I go to Europe.
Yeah, or Denver, maybe.
Paul Bearer, every time they're in this area, I'm fucking working.
The one goddamn time, the one time they came to Albuquerque.
Yeah. And,
or even nearby. They've come nearby, but not that nearby since then.
I'll go see them if they're an 8-hour drive away, but it's either on a Friday or Saturday when I'm working, or it's on a weeknight, and I can't fucking take time.
Primarily a Wednesday. Get together, Paul Bearer.
Yeah, and Alice in Chains, I've seen them before. I'd like to see them again.
I probably add So into that list.
Maybe.
That'd be another one that'd be tough to get.
You'd have to see him in Europe. Yeah,
that you might not be able to see.
Right.
That if you had the money to bring them over, that would be. And make that an all acoustic. All my bands would be all acoustic. It'd be an all acoustic breakdown sesh.
But anyway, that's kind of what's cranking on metal. Any other news, birthdays, or anything of note?
And not really. I have to be honest. I had the list pulled up, and then I didn't even fucking look at it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a
Chad
big
Smith
list
born today.
Okay.
Drummer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Katy Perry born today.
Yeah.
Born in 1970. I was like, holy shit! Wow.
No, she's not that old.
No, 84.
Yeah.
Richard Lloyd. Yeah, no, there ain't shit.
Yeah, pretty slow fucking day across the board on that. Yeah. Birthdays, music, or otherwise, real slow day.
Right.
So, anyway, but that is the metal portion of the podcast. Now, like I said, we do have nice little supplements here. We'd had one from Daryl a while ago. Ruben. Now, the one with Ruben, like I said, I will qualify.
This does require a little bit of preface.
We asked him, we were like, hey, man, we have the 100th episode coming up here in about 6 or 7 weeks or whatever it was. It was right after we got back from Austin. We'd said, hey, would you mind going ahead, saying some kind words?
I don't think we were that nice.
Well, something to that.
I said, hey, get over here and do this.
Yeah, but I think it was like, I think we had to be nice enough to where he's willing to do it. So the poor bastard sits down, like, yeah, sure. And he starts talking about, how great a guys we are, how great the podcast is. But in the background, we're just fucking verbally lashing him.
Yeah, it's like
right.
Once he finds a track to talk about, we just fucking hip check him off of it.
Yeah. So, and we were a long way off a microphone, so you might need to make some volume adjustments.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, though, we do have the MMA portion on the way. But yeah, thanks to Ruben for being such a good sport here on the
Yeah,
Mead.
thanks for putting up with me for 25 years, bud.
The Mead Metal and MMA podcast for episode 100.
And we're live.
Hello.
Is there anybody in there?
Is there anybody there? Hi, this is Ruben from Alone in the Room. How are y'all today? Good, okay. Yeah, so in celebration of 100th episode of these assholes here.
Bitch!
I don't know how they've put up with each other so damn long. No, no, it's been great, man.
That might be moderately valid, but we clashed on the right topic.
No, it's been great, man. Been entertaining listening to y'all. All the different things y'all come up with. Keep feeding us new music.
Promote us on that fucking Facebook page of yours.
We have been. You have been.
I mean, you too.
Oh, okay.
You're the one with the power. You're the goddamn paterfamilias of this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll start promoting y'all more on that page.
I appreciate it.
It's been nice. Wow, 100th episode, huh? What was the last episode y'all put out? What was the
99?
Was it 99?
Yeah, episode 99. We just put that out a week ago.
So the next one is 100?
Yeah, the next one's gonna be 100.
Oh shit! Are y'all gonna party hardy?
Probably. We've never been known not to.
Coming off of 99, of course.
You gonna get shit drunk for the?
You mean walking around drunk?
Yes, that's right. We don't get stagger drunk out here.
100 episodes. Yeah, it's been great being on the show, and yeah, I'll definitely promote y'all because I mean y'all have promoted me too. You know,
Yeah.
helped me out a lot.
I uploaded your Band and Billings song.
Oh yeah, and then you have it on your yeah. You give me shout outs and all that good shit.
Shout outs, I gave you money. I gave you everything. I gave you all.
It's great. These do it yourself indie musicians are ungrateful bastards. No, we're not.
All right, last
no, we're
words.
not. Yeah, man, it's been great working with these guys, and I look forward to many more shows. Look forward to all the material they're gonna come up with. I'm always wondering what the fuck will they come up with next, man. They're random. They're just always throwing out random shit.
I like that one. Those fuckers go fuck themselves.
What will these fuckers think of next? That's always what you're thinking about before they come out with a new episode. But yeah, man, happy 100 podcast. Mead Metal MMA, chingazos, music and wine. This is the manliest fucking podcast out there. I mean, metal, wine, and fucking fighting. I mean, shit. What else do you need?
Nothing.
So I figure things are going with the MMA for this week is it's kind of a mess because there is actually an event on Saturday. Not that I'm that hyped to watch a lot of it.
I haven't even looked at the card. I know the main event. It's Anthony Smith and some other guy.
Yeah, which took me it took me a little bit to remember who Anthony Smith was, and I felt kind of bad about that because then once I saw him, I was like, oh, it's that guy. But
yeah.
But yeah, he's going to be on the card. I mean, if we're wanting to go over it briefly, it's I don't want to demean any town in Canada, but if you're talking about UFC Moncton, which is what it is.
UFC Moncton.
Yeah. You got Volkan Ozdemir fighting against Anthony Smith. That's the main event on that card.
The last fight we saw Ozdemir in is when he fought Cormier for the light heavyweight belt, and it ended about how we thought it would.
He got humbled in a hurry. But also on the card, the co-main is going to be interesting as well because it is Michael Johnson fighting against Artem Lobov.
Artem Lobov, of course, we know, was supposed to fight some other dude out of the Khabib camp. And that got scrapped as soon as 229 was over.
Talk about a couple of guys with really unimpressive records, though. Michael Johnson's got a record of 18-3. Hey, at least he's on the positive side. Artem Lobov, 13-4 and 1 no contest.
Well, Artem got this gig
actually 13-14 and a draw and a no contest. So he's actually batting under 500 right now.
He's batting below 500. Shit. Well, Lobov has this gig because of Conor.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. So, and he was supposed to fight one of Khabib's boys, but then one of Khabib's boys is one of the guys that
got bounced out of the
got
promotion.
Involved in the 229. I don't know if he's been fired, but he certainly isn't fighting.
Well, I know that Dana White said he would never fight in the UFC
He
again.
did say that, but he's also said a lot of shit in the past.
Well, but if he backs off of that, the guy's utterly going to look like a worse shitbag than he is already.
Well, yeah, and most shit he lies about is like fight stuff. Is like, oh, you guys know about this right now? And no, that's not true. That's never going to happen. And then you hear about it 3 days later from Dana White.
Gian Volante's on the card, fighting somebody by the name of Ed Herman. I've never heard of, but
Ed Herman.
Yeah, but the top two on that card are all right. They're going to be good fights. Actually, my problem is when it comes down to cards where there's a lot of people I don't recognize, they turn out being fucking great.
Right. Well, that's the benefit, you know?
Yeah.
These guys aren't fighting for fame. They're fighting for fucking money and to fucking be a warrior.
Sure.
There's no other reason to do it outside of that.
The main event on the Fox Sports 2 preliminary card, Nordine Taleb is going to be fighting Sean Strickland. Strickland with a quiet, good record, 19-3, but he did, I think, get fucked up last time out. Nordine Taleb has been around for a while, but he's only 14-5 record. So that's, you know. And,
I can't remember the last time we saw Taleb fight.
No, and you can't look at records and go by that. It's kind of a poor assessment there. What I do think is interesting, though, on the Fight Pass prelims, the very first rattle out of the box, Stevie Ray, the proud Scotsman, is going to be fighting.
Oh, boy. Well, see, now you got to at least watch that one.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, that's coming on like 4:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. I might be barely done with lunch.
Is that an afternoon fight?
Well, no, that one, the first one out of the.
Oh, right, yeah. I was about to say shit.
No, it'll adhere to the normal, the status quo of what we expect, because that'll start at 4:30, and there are 3 early Fight Pass ones. So.
Okay, all right. So and well, I know we haven't had weigh-ins yet, so we don't know if anything's got pulled or not.
Right.
But But you know, it's still tough for me, dude. I don't give a fuck about Saturday.
Yeah.
Regardless of Red Dead coming out or anything, because I mean, you know me. I if there are fights on, I'd rather watch them than not.
I'm fairly confident I'll be cranking it on at a minimum to catch the co-main and main.
Yeah.
So.
But it's still a bit of a bummer to me. This weird feeling I still have after 229. Well, but there's this guy, Josh LaCour. He's actually been pretty vocal in the MMA aspect of our of our podcast, and you know he brings up a really great point that not only is the UFC no longer the only option, the other options are starting to get a little better.
Sure,
Bellator, absolutely. As long as they stay away from that Pride vibe, because that whole Pride night they had, remember when they had the octagon and then they had the fucking Pride ring?
Yeah,
it was a spectacle. That's why it worked, but it would never work on a monthly basis.
No,
but they now have a fighting roster that is impressive.
They've got a really good one, Rafael Lovato Jr.
Yeah, fucking A, dude, right?
That guy might be one of the best. Black belt jiu-jitsu practitioners. Jiu-jitsu practitioners in all of MMA, and he's fighting in fucking Bellator.
It's They do. They have all the fucking motivation in the world to surpass UFC. They have the ability. I think they do.
They're certainly not paying the overhead that the UFC is paying.
No way, because they're letting the fucking sponsors do that.
Absolutely.
Which is how it should be. That's how it should be. OneFC has now officially gotten a lot more interesting because of this potential trade going on between Mighty Mouse and the UFC and Ben Askren and OneFC.
I think I actually like it because the fact is...
No, I love it. I fucking love it. I love it for Mighty Mouse and Ben Askren.
Yeah, I think Demetrious Johnson needs to step away from UFC for a little while, and this gives him an opportunity to do that, go compete in another promotion.
I don't think he'll come back, though.
Maybe. I mean, he'll probably go somewhere.
This dude will go dominate OneFC at flyweight and then call it a career.
Maybe.
Maybe
not.
He'll be the first guy to truly do the Bellator jump. Eddie Alvarez won a belt. Everybody else from Bellator has not really had the best run of it.
Right.
Volkov just got knocked the fuck out with 3 seconds left in the fucking last round of the fight. Will Brooks did terrible. Alvarez won a belt.
Promptly lost it, but yeah.
Yeah, promptly lost it. It's good to know there is other options out there. I am real curious to know what they're going to do with Mighty Mouse and OneFC.
And I'd like to see Ben Askren actually be able to fight at the level of talent. Because the thing is, a lot of people, they'll look at his record. I don't think a guy's ever lost a fight. And they'll look
he's undefeated.
They'll look at his record and they'll say, well, yeah, but he hasn't fought the best that are out there. Well, the dude fought in Bellator and dominated. The dude fought in OneFC and dominated. Everywhere he goes, he dominates. At welterweight is it's a pretty stacked division in the UFC, but not by wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we see what wrestlers do.
Tyron Woodley.
Yeah,
but that dude really doesn't utilize. He utilizes wrestling as a defensive mechanism rather than offensive.
Absolutely. Yeah. That guy's throwing windmills.
Right.
I think Ben Askren comes in and fucking shuts him down.
It was kind of nice to see him do what he did to Darren Till. It kind of did have that old Tyron Woodley vibe.
Right.
That just throw caution to the wind. But I feel like he didn't feel threatened by Darren Till in the first place.
None at all. But if he goes fighting somebody that there's a threat, he might end up on his back. Like damn good and well that Woodley is going to keep a distance in that.
Damn right. So I'm going to name off some names for the first Ben Askren fight in the UFC. You tell me yay or nay.
On yay or nay on what?
On if this fight would be good or bad.
Okay.
Or should happen or not.
Okay.
George St. Pierre.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the one Askren wants.
Goddamn, could you imagine that? I'd fucking pay for that. I would pay for that.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
I'd probably pay for the pay-per-view Ben Askren was on just to see it.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz.
Against Nate at welterweight. Nate's a light heavyweight or a lightweight. Rather.
He might be a light heavyweight now.
Yeah. No, he's a lightweight. Because that was the problem. The only reason he fought Connor at 170 is because that was where there was agreed upon to fight.
Right.
Short notice and everything else as it was. But and Nate's fine when he gets on the ground. But man, I don't think he could handle the stifling wrestling.
When Nate fought Michael Johnson, he looked the best he's ever looked standing up. That dude's boxing was top notch, and Michael Johnson's a brawler. But then he fought Connor, and now his career is stagnated.
Yeah.
It would be. I think it would be a good fight on the feet, but it'd immediately go to the ground, and I think it'd be just Nate Diaz getting fucking elbowed for 15 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal's actually. I'm a little more impressed with his striking than I used to be after the Iaquinta fight, but man, in the last 3 years since that fight took place, his striking has really, really stepped up.
Yeah.
Looked great against Cerrone.
Looked good against Maya at 211. Looked all right.
Maya's a little slow on moving in and the take. Ben Askren is an explosive.
That grappling
he's an explosive wrestler.
Right. Yeah. It's it would Masvidal has the ability to survive on the ground.
Yeah, but
BJJ versus wrestling has always been kind of weird.
Yeah, wrestling usually dominates.
It does. 9 times out of 10 it will, because it has a striking aspect to it.
Yeah, and it's just a mauling experience. I mean, BJJ, you want separation occasionally in order to be able to get in, to be able to set up a few things you're trying to do. And the thing is also with BJJ, let's not forget that hasn't evolved. All of its evolution as a medium within MMA has it's kind of reached its peak.
Sure.
I would make that argument. Somebody else needs to come along and change it to where it's utilizing other things. I mentioned Rafael Lovato a while ago.
Right.
That guy is that's the next stage for BJJ guys. Damian Maia types are not going to be the dominating feature moving forward.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%. This is another obvious one, and the one I kind of want to see, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
You have to have Khabib come at 170 because there's no way that Askren's moving down to 155.
Might be able to. Never really been asked to.
Well, but he's. I mean, he doesn't look like he has a hard cut to 170, but goddamn, dropping 15 pounds under weigh-in day at 170, that'd be a bit much. I think that'd probably actually, for nothing else, probably a catch weight.
Yeah. And the last fighter, which, by the way, this list is courtesy of lowkickmma.com, Damian Maia. This one's actually really interesting because that would be going on the ground immediately.
Yeah. But again, I'm not impressed with where Damian Maia is at now. I think his fight game has dropped considerably in the last 2-3 fights.
Yeah, Damian Maia has had a really big problem with keeping up with the young guys, and it wasn't always that way. But it just seems like time caught up with Damian Maia really, really quickly. And I don't think Ben Askren... I think they'd be setting him up like they set up Michael Johnson when Justin Gaethje came into the UFC. They set him up with a guy that knew he was dominant in the same thing he was doing and took him out.
Yeah.
Ben Askren might make Damian Maia look like a punk.
I think that's... I hate to say it, but that's probably where smart money would be.
Yeah.
In that, so... No.
All are interesting options. I just can't wait. I've always waited for that day when Ben Askren would fight in UFC. And if it takes a Mighty Mouse trade to OneFC to get it done, I think everybody wins.
Well, here's one other thing to kind of get your blood to boiling, because Daniel Cormier weighed in on the Derek Lewis fight. Derek Lewis... I think Derek Lewis is going to be overmatched. Let's not lie about this. Let's point it out. I think that guy is overmatched to Cormier's style of fight.
Right.
However, Cormier did allow that if he does lose, he will probably not give up the light heavyweight belt.
Well, the fight's fucking been announced. The stipulation is there. As soon as the first punch is exchanged in that fight, he is no longer light heavyweight champ.
That's what I thought as well, but it was actually on MMA Insider or what.
So we're not going to get a March fucking retirement from Cormier, are we?
I don't know. I think it would be, honestly, if it comes to that and Derek Lewis does the unthinkable and knocks him out, or or at minimum gets a win.
Yeah.
And then somehow or another, then the promotion goes and fudges it, which they would, because
they might. They might.
And then, but then we can see like Jones come out, and if something doesn't go right with the Gustafsson fight, and that one has to, get fight.
They're fucking wanted Cormier with a belt when ESPN deal goes live.
But that's the whole thing. I'm rooting for Cormier to lose both belts legitimately.
Yeah. So I'd rather see him get beat for it than get taken. We've seen belts get taken all the time, and I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see people lose belts.
Right.
Like if Conor was even still the lightweight champ after the Khabib fight, that motherfucker lost the belt.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I don't know, but that's about it. You want to move to picks?
I think it's time.
All right. Picks for this week for the drinking side.
What are you drinking there, son?
Old ice water.
Delicious, refreshing, and it'll get you fucked up if you drink enough of it. It might even kill you.
In spite of knowing what fish do in it. That's where I'm at.
I'll be drinking fucking Budweiser probably the next 4 days.
Yeah. Good man. Good man. Picks on the tune side of things.
I'm gonna go Static X. Anything off the second album. It's probably their best album. I got to pay homage. They're a band I loved. I got to give them respect.
This week I would recommend go back a few years. Check out a band with a really unfortunate name now, but the band ISIS. And check out...
Dude, no, dude. Don't say that.
Check out the band ISIS with Panopticon. Was I think the height. They're no longer together.
Yeah.
Probably because of name, but yeah, they.
Yeah, be sure when you search for them on YouTube, you type in ISIS the band.
Yeah, you don't want to go getting the national Homeland Security looking into your shit.
Oh shit, are we not plugged in on here?
What's the matter?
Oh man, laptop ain't plugged in.
Oh, we losing battery?
Hold on, I gotta save the day.
Yeah. Goddamn, we should have probably cut this short by a couple more minutes. All right, there we go.
Well, it's good to know your battery will last about a solid hour and 20 minutes.
There it is. All right, and then picks on MMA. There's that fight this weekend. I'm going Stevie Ray from Scotland.
I'm hoping Anthony Smith wins. I like to see some light heavyweight prospects make some ground.
Because I don't know how.
I think time's up for Ozdemir. I think his time is up.
I think if he gets a win, it gets more confusing than anything else.
And Anthony Smith is no rookie. This guy is a vet.
That guy's been around a while. Yeah.
I think he has I know he has at least 30 fights.
Sure. All right, that's it. That's episode 100. We would like to thank every damn one of you for picking us up. I don't think anybody's been tuned in since episode 1. Although I know a few of you have gone back and listened to all of them. But
yes, I actually have that on record via YouTube that people have gone back to listen to our old shit, which would be really funny to go back and listen to that very first episode, man.
Fun or horrible.
You can, it's what we put out there. Yeah. And there were 3 more we did before that we didn't even release.
Yeah. Well,
which I'm kind of glad we didn't.
Yeah, no, we had to kind of get our
feet under us. I'd raise a beer to you if I had any beer left in my can.
Yeah.
But here's to here's to another 100.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks to Ruben. Thanks to Daryl. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Joshua, right?
Yeah, Josh LaCour.
Yeah.
Thanks for chiming in on the MMA aspect. We almost felt like that might be the one everyone kind of skipped. It's good to know that someone's interested in it.
Yeah. We'll be back, right back to it again, November 2nd, back to a Friday night again.
UFC 230.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in depth. Have a great week.
Not too great.
Not too great. Don't celebrate too crazy.
And never look back. Just glance casually.
Don't look back in anger.